A girl, at an altitude of 10,000 meters, jumped out of the plane without a parachute. Just a second before hitting the ground, she still managed to strike a cool pose. This terrifying scene left a young couple in a state of panic. The reason Mary was acting so recklessly was simply because she knew she would come back to life immediately. It turns out that on her 18th birthday, Mary was murdered by a masked man. Amazingly, she came back to life in a stranger's dorm room, but every time she revived, she wouldn't survive more than a day before being killed again. Only by finding the real masked killer and killing him could she finally break free from this cycle of death. Mary stripped off all her clothes and walked through the campus, leaving male students one by one speechless. Yet Mary didn't care in the slightest, for she knew that by the next day, no one would remember any of it. Mary was once the school's most famous beauty, but she was also known far and wide for her promiscuity. That day, Mary woke up in a stranger's dorm room. Having completely forgotten last night's wild antics, she picked up the phone on the desk and read the text message her father had sent, only then realizing it was her birthday. So Mary hurriedly got dressed. Back in her dorm, her roommates had prepared a beautiful birthday cake for her, but Mary turned around and tossed it straight into the trash. Next, Mary went to the school nurse's office, intending to have a fling with the doctor, but unexpectedly, the doctor's wife suddenly arrived. Seeing this, Mary hurriedly fled the doctor's office. With no other choice, Mary had to return to her dorm to sleep. Just as she walked under the bridge, she noticed a music box placed in the middle of the path. Just as Mary was captivated by the cute music box, she suddenly heard a noise behind her. Mary turned around to find a masked man staring coldly at her. At that moment, Mary felt a tinge of fear and said she was going to call the police. Sure enough, upon hearing this, the masked man turned and left. However, just as she was about to step out of the tunnel, the music box began to play again. At that very moment, the masked man reappeared from behind and killed Mary. A sudden nightmare jolted Mary awake. She found herself lying in a stranger's bed. Immediately, Mary walked out of the boys' dormitory, but she realized that what was happening before her eyes felt as though she had experienced it in a dream. Upon returning to her room, her roommate handed her an exquisite birthday cake. This time, Mary placed the cake on the table. Then she went to the school nurse's office again. This time, she locked the door in advance, so she could feel at ease having sex with the doctor. But the very next second, the doctor's wife's voice rang out from outside the door. The doctor immediately opened the door, and Mary fled in a panic once again. On her way back, as she approached the tunnel entrance, there was actually a music box right in the middle of the path. Seeing this, Mary turned and ran back the way she came. But when she reached the dormitory building, she found the entire building pitch black. She turned the doorknob only to discover the door was locked. She knocked a few times, but no one answered. Just as she was about to leave, the masked man appeared. Mary slapped him hard across the face. It turned out to be a birthday party her classmates had thrown for her. Mary finally relaxed. Just as the party was in full swing, Jack, who had just been slapped, invited Mary to have sex with him. To make up for her earlier rudeness, she followed Jack to the room.